Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look at the Broadway Limited Brass Hybrid Series Texas and Pacific 210-4 steam locomotives. I know that is a mouthful. We're looking at two different types here, the American Freedom Train and the Southern Excursion Service version. There's also an original Texas and Pacific version they offer that's down in Texas on display, and a couple of different other paint schemes as well, but these are the two I chose. So let's see what you get in the box with this brass hybrid locomotive from Broadway Limited next. Alright, so this comes in a white box with a sleeve you slide out, revealing the locomotive and its blister packaging. The locomotive pops out along with some accessories. The first thing that went flying is the funnel, and that helps add smoke to the smokestack without getting it everywhere. So it's good to hear. They kind of give you something to channel that smoke, because if it drips down and down to your wheels, it can really do some damage to your tractive effort. This little trap door here slides out from under the box, and it's got inside a locomotive specific handout going over 28 functions, and then the glossy owner's manual with over 30 pages of information about Paragon4 steam locomotives. For those that you don't know, Paragon4 is Broadway Limited's own sound system, and it works with subwoofers that you can purchase. You can actually purchase your own or purchase the Broadway Limited subwoofer, but what you need from Broadway Limited is the receiver, and that allows for a trackside bass experience where you hear the chuff. Now right in the box here we have the Golden Eagle that goes on the Southern version, traction tires, and a tool to install, and an alternate smokestack, and it looks like a coupler box. So those are more accessories. Hard plastic, soft plastic, and you have the locomotive itself, number 610 right here, ready to go. So there's the unboxing. We'll do a 360 of this locomotive, and I'll also show you the Freedom Train version, but we'll get reset to where you can see it better. Okay, the background was a little busy, so I wanted to provide something where you can better see the locomotive, and we'll start on the front here, where on the smoke box door above it you have a water, I think it's called a superheater. It heats the water before it goes back into the locomotive, so the water is really hot and helps with tractive effort and steam. There are classification lights on each side that are prismed, non-operating in terms of LEDs or anything. There is an LED headlight, 610 below the headlight, 610 on this water heater or superheater as well. Southern Railway on each side over here. You have the pilot, some people call it the cow catcher, a coupler cut lever that's fixed, and air line hoses, brake line hoses draped off the front there, along with a step. Now looking a little further up, you've got the smokestack, some plumbing. There is a light that appears at the top of this area right here. It's supposed to aid in being able to see, I guess, smoke at night, but it does actually light up. I remember that. White wall wheels and sill here. Bell, you've got a cord running to the bell, which you don't see much anymore in model railroading, but they did a nice job. Again, this is all brass, mostly brass I should say. So if we follow that bell cord back, there's a whistle. There's also a whistle mount and cord as well. So when you look back, you can see, especially from this angle, two separate cords. safety valves, the boiler dome and sand dome, the dynamos back here. And you've got all of the plumbing and rivets on the firebox. Cab figures on both, Southern 610 there. And your trailing trucks as well. There's a deck plate I just pushed down so it's flat because it can go flat. You see curtains for the cab there. You can see the other figure as well. And from here is a kind of a good view of both the whistle cord and the bell cord. And if I swing this around, we're going to have to zoom out to look at the tender here. But on the tender, there's, I forget what they call them, a dog house or something, but a little area for a crew person to be in right there. Water hatch, safety chain here. It's actually a real chain. Another hatch there. Grab irons, rear light, and ladder. There's also off the back end silver tipped air line hoses and brake line hoses. Okay, as we come up the other side, you can see a little better all of the detail on that side, including on the actual firebox. There's more detail. It's different from the other side, more plumbing and such. And you've got some blowdown plumbing that drops down right here by the rear driver. You can see the throttle valve also coming from the cab. As you can see, both the bell and the whistle string and the throttle's all going to originate in the cab so that they can have control over those features. Right here you can see a builder's plate, and you got the smoke box door again, and we're back to the front. So hopefully that gives you a good 360 of the locomotive. Just a beautiful locomotive, so really well done, and you can have it as mostly brass and it operates, so that's always great. Alright, well, quick 360 the Freedom Train, because you've seen this before on the channel. Alright, we won't go that fast, but you can see 610s on the side. This took the Freedom Train in the 70s through Texas, and you still have the draw cords and everything like that is the same, so no changes there. People ask if the vents are fixed, and they are fixed in place there, so just letting you know that. I noticed some questions from previous versions on how that is. Still two cab figures, still deck plate. This, you can probably see a little bit of the boiler back head on this angle. I'm going to try to shine some extra light so you can see that a little better, but there are painted gauges and such, so you can see they really go into the detail there. You can see the boiler back head. So again, American Freedom Train on the tender there. That's the big change. And 610 is in red, white, and blue under the cab. And as we look at this thing dead on, 610 still under the headlight. Superheater's there. There's just no writing there or there like there is on the Southern version. So there is a 360 of the Freedom Train as well. And just for you guys, I did install the eagle there above the headlight with a pair of tweezers. So it took a few minutes. It's good to go. But there is the eagle on the Southern Excursion version. Alright, Broadway Limited can be started by just moving it, or for the extended startup, it's F9. We'll listen to F9 now. Okay, and usually smoke will get moving as you move it. So if we move this, you can see the puffing smoke there. Before I get started in some of the details of this. So F-Zero's headlight. You'll hear the dynamo spin up or down if you turn it off. Turning it on right now. It takes a couple seconds. It's on. I can show you that at a different angle later. Bell's one. Sounds really good. 2 whistle. Just so everybody knows, there are whistle options. The first one's F22, which can change to the alternate whistle. But there's also whistles in the CV menu. F3 is rear light on and off. I'll just verify that works real quick. And then F4 is no mapping. You can map to whatever you want if you want to. 5 is the smokestack light we talked about. You can turn that on and off. And that's right up here. Let me show that to you. You see that little light there? That is the smokestack light feature. First time in Steam that something like that has been done, to my knowledge, other than if Broadway Limited's done it before. F6, the dynamo on and off. 7, dim the front and rear lights. 8's the master volume. 9's start up and shut down. 10 is the cab light, which automatically goes on and off if you move it. 11 and 12 have no effect. 13 is the grade crossing whistle. So, and if you have the other one selected, it'll play that one. 14 station sounds, which there's all sorts of sounds. I'll just pick one of them through the next 14 to 21. There's station sounds, yard radio chatter, maintenance chatter, radio check chatter, crew chatter in the city, crew chatter in the farm, industrial sounds, and lumber mill sounds. So we'll do like 17 or something.
I tell you what, keep me on channel 54. Over. 54.
Definitely sounds southern to me. 20 and 21 are lumber mill sounds and industrial sounds. 22 changes the whistle like we talked about. 23 is track sounds, which is recent. It's a fairly new addition. So when you move it along, you get like a clickety-clack. Hear it? So that's track sounds. And then you got your smoke on and off. 24. 25 is the long whistle. 26 is macro playback. And 27 is record macro, so you can record a sequence when you hit F27. Like speed, variations, whistle bell. And then you can play it back with 26, and then 28 is brake squeal. So that's all the functions of this thing. We'll check slow speed control while we check our AccuTrack 2 here. A little gizmo to say how fast this is going to be going. Might have to move this a little bit because we're on a switch. Alright, AccuTrack's on. Go to one speed step here. Give you a good chance to see the puffing smoke. 4 chuffs per revolution, which is correct. Smoke seems to be doing pretty well. And 5.2. So there's your speed going forward. 5.2 scale miles an hour. Now going in reverse, you're probably going to get the similar speed, but I will check reverse just to see how smooth it is on the first speed step. So some manufacturers want you to have a smooth experience, so they're going to up that speed a little bit when they program the locomotive, and you can always change it with start and stop voltage. Here's the Freedom Train version. I'll just start that up by moving it. Actually need to add smoke. I think it's low. Okay, we're all smoked up and ready to go. It's like really smoked up. You can adjust all the smoke settings too. I've got this thing pouring, which is pretty neat, you know. But there is Freedom Train 610 version. I wanted to show you that. And again, smokestack light and other features are on this as well. So really a neat locomotive. See what the dynamo's spun up here. Okay, looking at this from the dark, there's the cab light, smokestack light, and there's your headlights. So pretty good prototypical color on that. If I swing around here to the back, I'll just reverse direction. There are your tail lights, or rear lights, timber lights. And from this angle you can see even more inside the cab there with the boiler back head and the gauges as well. Well guys, that's going to wrap up our review of the Broadway Limited Brass Hybrid 210-4 Texas and Pacific steam locomotives in mostly brass. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think this is a nice locomotive, runs pretty smooth, sounds good. You can, the bell sounds amazing. You can change the horn to a couple different versions, or the whistle I should say. Overall, the detail, the strings for the bell and the whistle going to the cab are amazing detail you don't see much anymore. So I'll leave you with a run by of these, and before I do, I've got a special guest to tell me what he thinks of the locomotives. Henry, what do you like about the locomotives?
I mean, they're really cool. It's just the smoke. They look real authentic. Like, I'm sure they cost a lot. I'm sure they're very valuable. I'd pay tons of money for these. They're awesome.
All right. Well, that's going to be it. Thanks, Henry, for being in the video. He was checking these things out with me, and he likes racing trains. And Broadway Limited makes it fun for the youth, too, with the subwoofer and like the water tower that has the moving water spout. Just lots of cool things from Broadway Limited. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time right here on the channel. Take care.